Hello, folks. Coming back at you on a Sunday, May 8th, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, all mothers worldwide. I'll say a tribute to my mom. My mom's been gone since something like 1985 or 86. She passed away. Both my parents were musicians, but my mom got really ill when I was young, lost her hearing, had a brain hemorrhage, and was in and out of the mental hospital as well. But both of my parents were huge inspirations on me as far as music. That's how they met, was in a band together. And even though my mom was deaf and we couldn't afford hearing aids, she sang to herself a lot. And she had a beautiful voice. And so that's a dedication to my mom, and happy Mother's Day to all mothers worldwide. Thanks for the camaraderie and friendship, folks. Just thanks for accepting me. Just thank you a whole lot. Thank you a whole lot. Since my last video, I've received a couple of items from people, and I'll tell you about those things. That's primarily what I can tell you about, since I don't have a lot of income to be buying a lot of records. Someone had asked me in my last video, why don't I ever talk about new records? Well, I have to address that because I talk about new records all the time, and if this person would pay attention, I think what they're talking about is chart records, maybe. But if you look at the videos that I just did, where I show you records, some records are reissues and some are brand new. Like the Kilby Kennedy, that's brand new. The All India Radio, which I just played again, I love this. This is brand new. So what I'm going to tell you about today is some of it's brand new. An artist who I don't know, but I feel like would be worth getting to know, sent me a package of his music and art. And the fellow's name is Brett Harold Hart. I can't remember exactly how we ended up becoming friends, but it's somehow related to music. But he is a visual and sound artist who there's a connection between him and some progressive rock musicians that I like, namely Dave Newhouse in the Muffins and Nick Didkovsky with Dr. Nerves. So it was very nice when Brett, when you asked to send me something, and he sent me this really nice, very personal package of music in this bound, sewn bag, covered in twine. I just love that. This is the second time I've gotten something like this recently, but I love this. It's a bag. They're numbered. This is number 45 out of 50. And the music comes inside with more artwork. Brett, thank you so much. This is really a piece of art. So here, this is done by his wife, as he shared with me. Piece of artwork by his wife, number 45 out of, how many of these are there? 60 of these. 60 of these. So I get original art. I do, like I was saying about another recent package I got, where it's do-it-yourself art, homemade art. I love that aesthetic, and so these CDs come in that form. Brett Harold Hart's Save Room for Pie. This guy's a character. I don't know Brett, but I can, by looking at his stuff, trying to absorb all the stuff, all this art. Did you make these cards, Brett? And listening to the work on the CDRs, these are burned one at a time, so it's like personally burned for me. I do appreciate this. Lots of information. Great American Testimony, where Brett is explaining his art a bit. I've listened to both CDs a bit, but this is the sort of music where, okay, and you know, I'm going to be frank. This is art, and there's a certain amount of getting into. I just love this stuff. Tick treatment with stuff like this. The process of making the art is, in some ways, as much a part of the final product, I would say. This is some cool stuff, Brett. Pure art. I love it. I love it. So what I'm saying is that this music is kind of, there's parts where it's immediately enjoyable ensemble playing with horns, guitar. I guess you could call it somewhat prog, or it's not rock and roll. But there's several things where it's more experimental, and there's things going on with the technique of, it sounds like what's happening is technique as much as anything. You know, experimenting with what sound can be gotten from what has been chosen, you know, what instruments have been chosen to work with at the time. So this is a rewarding experience, a very artful experience, and it's something that I know I have a lot of music that I want to return to, but this is the sort of thing where it will reap greater benefits each time I listen to it. And Brett, you had approached me and sent me a piece of music a while back as a possible collaboration, and the piece that you sent I didn't resonate with it. I'd like to try again, you know. If that's cool with you, I'll just say it right here in public. You know, I'd love to try to work with you. You know, it's I can just tell you the sort of person who is very interesting and multi-layered, and it would be a great benefit to meet you in person. If we could meet in person, that'd be great. But as well as that, thank you, Brett. As well as getting that, I also received from Dave Newhouse, keyboardist, main writer for the Muffins, who we all know about, one of America's premier Canterbury sound bands. And Romantic Warriors by Zeitgeist Media just recently did a DVD series on Canterbury music. And they just released the special features DVD that goes along with it, and Dave sent me a copy. And as I said, Dave Newhouse is in the band The Muffins, who are on here. The Muffins, there you see, along with Glass, Soft Machine Legacy. Canterbury is so important to my musical history. Dave Newhouse is also on here, a guest musician on here. So I've watched part of this, haven't got through all of it. Dave, thank you so much for sharing this with me. I'm so happy that the history of Canterbury and progressive rock music through that vein is not being forgotten, that its legacy is being laid down historically by someone. The music changed my life. Completely overshadowed by more commercial or more broadly appealing music styles, but historic and, I think, extremely important in the overall history of rock music is this vein of progressive rock music, Canterbury. I just love the fact that I've gotten to know some of these people personally and can call them friends. The interview on here with David Allen from Gong is priceless. I watched most of the Muffins live performance on here. Dave, if you see this, it's a great performance. Love hearing Billy on drums. And I like your explanation of how you basically discovered Canterbury chords It's great, man. So thank you so much for sharing this with me. Folks that are interested in this music, Romantic Warriors #3. This is the addendum to it. Look it up and grab it. Thank you so much, guys. Some more music that I got to tell you about. My band Chemicals. We're going to try to get recorded this year, okay? But two of the guys in the band are also in this other local band called Funk Trek, a local horn band. And these guys, to me, are basically like a modern version of the average white band, which is it's a bunch of white guys playing old-style funk with horns. And they occasionally have singers. But the trumpet player and the keyboardist from this band are in Chemicals with me. And so I just had Jake over, the keyboardist, hanging out for the first time, and we did some trading. And this, some of you folks would probably really like this. I don't think that you can get this except when you see the band live, but I thought I'd show them. Funk Trek, Quencher. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me take another sip here. Yeah, I'm going to try to get Chemicals recording here this summer. A little bit of update is otherwise this last night I went to a wedding. Craig D is a drummer, good friend of mine who I first met him when he came through town on tour with David Dondero. Some of you know who David Dondero is. He was on Conor Oberst's label Team Love. And then Craig and I ended up in Dreama together, and we've actually done a lot of stuff together. But he got married last night, and he just knows a bunch of people in the music scene. So it was great to get together with a bunch of musician friends, including Conor Oberst. He was there. I hadn't seen Conor for quite a while, and it was good to catch up with Conor. And it was great because Conor has already heard about my band Chemicals. That's what I wanted to share with you. There's quite a buzz about my band Chemicals here locally. I really like it, We are good. I'm going to try to get it recorded this year. So on Record Store Day, the one record that I really wanted I couldn't get. But my good friend Randy LeMasters in Pittsburgh, who unfortunately just lost his dad a couple days ago. Rest in peace, Dad. I know it's tough on Randy. But Randy knows how much I love the band Mew and asked me was I able to get a copy, and I said no. So he picked one up for me. Muse and the Glass-Handed Kites on vinyl. Love this band from Denmark. Modern, progressive, and pop. They have the moves where the band could be, in many ways, a smash. They could be a big pop band. It just doesn't happen. I don't know why. I think this band, they're one of the best bands around. This is a wonderful package, with the inner booklet. Excuse me. Comes with a huge poster, which I don't put posters up too much. I don't put, anyway. And clear vinyl. Thank you so much, Randy, if you happen to see this. Many people like this best. This is not I don't like this best by them, but I can see why some people do. I really feel like this could have been the breakthrough album for America that it was supposed to be. I personally think that Sony blew it by not promoting the album better. That's just my opinion. Promotion is a big part of success. And being willing to play the marketing game and look for ways of being, getting attention, it's unavoidable, which I've always tried to not do. I've just always tried to just be good and, believe in that egg-headed idealist value that it's the music man. And the further you get involved in the business, the more you realize it's not about the music man at all. So I guess that's why these guys aren't bigger, because The music comes first, although they have all the other stuff. They have the looks and the sound. Anyway. I got that. What else is sitting down here? Well, I picked this up used at Almost Music. I love XTC, and this is The Great Fire. I like this single. It's Tim Guthrie showed this in one of his videos where you get that effect. But XTC, once again, great pop band, almost progressive. Got to see them live. Okay, one other thing I bought. I did buy this. I was curious about it, knowing that historically this is something. This is not the original, but Carol Appel, Music Barbara van Carol Appel. This was recorded in 1963, and it's a tape work. It's early tape manipulation. I do this kind of work. My Sonospheres albums are in the vein of what this man was doing with tape in a big studio back in '63. He's a visual artist, and he got the opportunity to go into a studio and just was given carte blanche to all the equipment, and this is what he came up with. It's fascinating non-music. I guess you'd have to call it music concrete. Fascinating work. I love stuff like this. Fascinating. Wonderful stuff. Just looking to see what else is sitting down here. Well, some old albums I've been listening to. Cherry People. This was pop in the, I think, 1969 or 70. And they had a hit, and suddenly, kind of like the Left Bank, it's totally pop. No rock and roll or progressive. But I love the cover. I've always liked the cover, so I keep it. Another record that is this Czech? I'm not sure, but I found this used years ago. Metro. Now this is actually kind of psychedelic, like the cover. It's pop, but it's got. This is really good. Actually, I don't know anything about the band. Early '70s. Like a freak beat UK band, but they speak it, you sing in their native language. It's good, Metro. Okay. Here's one more. Well, actually, a couple more. I did some trading recently. Thank goodness, because that's how it is. You buy a record, and then it's like you get that craving. You want to buy more. So, happened to be in the store when another musician I know, whose name I forget, came in, was needing some money, and I got this from him. The reissue of Boards of Canada's Geo Gotti, however you say it. 3-record set on Warp. Love this. It's just got a very, very cool, good, warm electronic sound that I love. This was in the store they were used. Someone bought this and didn't like it. I'm glad they didn't. It's a reissue of a jazz rock album from France, Triode. On n'a pas fini d'avoir tout vu. On the Souffle Continu label. Again, one of those records that when you can find it now, it's pricey. This is worth it. It's flute driven. The flute player is the main guy. Really nice. And on my favorite color vinyl, orange vinyl. Good label. Souffle Continu. This was a pleasant surprise to find there in the store used. So mainly just catching you up on some music I bought. I've also recently gotten some orders. That always pleases me when I get orders for my records and I haven't been talking about them. Thank you. Those will go out tomorrow. A couple of orders for I think one for Murphy and one for Flyover. Yeah, I've got maybe 10 copies of Murphy left. I think I'll keep it right here, mainly about music. There's not much to say right now. here in America, it's just a very, very weird time. It's like the 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 fake veneer of civility of America is completely gone. And it's just the we'll talk politics for a second. The fact that that sick man Ted Cruz just couldn't get any traction and is out of the race. Thank goodness. But now the Republican Party, it's like the party never stood for anything, and now it's really obvious. Trump is out in front. They're all, everyone's in a tizzy, because this man truly is what they are, he's selfish, okay? It's all about him and my business and me, and everything he says, which is insensitive and doofus and unenlightened. I mean, Donald Trump is the kind of good person that if I had the opportunity to get to know him, I wouldn't want to know him, okay? He doesn't shine from the inside. He could, it's there. Like all of us have the potential to be wonderful creatures of light or whatever, something good, but he's just spreading, it's pathetic, it's pitiful. And the other thing I'll say is that here Hillary Clinton, even though if she ends up being the Democratic nominee, I definitely won't vote for Donald Trump, so I'll vote for her if I have to. But she's a Republican. She's not a Democrat. Democrats aren't nothing anyway. The Democrat Republic is an illusion in the first place. But Hillary Clinton is corporate and war. She's all about the war money. She's not about women's rights or the common people down in the street suffering. So it's just a travesty, and good Lord. Just keep watching because what a mess. What a mess. So thank goodness for art and music. It's the thing that keeps me sane is to play music with my friends, listen to music, create it, visit with family and friends, keep it simple, you know what I'm saying? Because life right now this planet is crazy. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.